Hey everybody, today I just got to show you how to do a water saute. I mean, you know, we talk about water sautes all the time. And, you know, a lot of people just don't know what a water saute is. So I figured I better just show you the basics. And a water saute is basically where you're sauteing with water rather than oil. Because oil has a lot of problems. Ooh, looks like it's warm enough. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get some onions. Right here I've got just an old Teflon, not a Teflon, you can use Teflon or stainless steel. This is actually an old titanium pan that I've had for years, and it works great. So the water saute, how tough is it? Get some water and saute. Now, how difficult is that? Now, just to let you know, a little technical. Let's get some technical elements of this. A water saute is not technically a saute. It would actually be a glazing. Sauteing is with oil, glazing is with water or broth. And so that's the difference there. But as far as a water saute, and anytime you hear somebody talking about water saute, this is what you're going to get. So here's what we're going to do. We added some water to this. We are going to let this saute till the water's gone. Then we're going to add a little more water. Let that water evaporate in its cooking process. Then we're going to add a little more water. Let that water evaporate. And that is literally what you have to do to get a really good water saute. Otherwise, you're just boiling vegetables. You know, you could boil vegetables, you could break this down just in boiled water, but it's not really the saute, it's not that flavor that we're looking for. So this is gonna take a little while, but we will fast forward the camera and show you what a real water saute looks like. Now you can see just after a few minutes how the onions are actually starting to break down, and interestingly enough, they're actually sweating sugar. The sugar, because onions can be very sweet, and that sugar is what is sweating, and you can see where it's going to start actually caramelizing a little bit. You can take a look at this. It's finally where there's no more moisture that's getting sauteed off of it. Then we're just going to add a little more water and keep the process going. Just add a little more water, do a little more sauteing. Like I said, a little bit of patience here. Oh, another thing you can do. You could always add beefless base. I've got my Better Than Bouillon beefless base if you want to make a actual broth to saute it in, even apple cider vinegar. There's different things, spices, things like that, that you can always do for different flavors or different particular recipes. But we're just going to show you just the basics here. So let's let this go. It's probably going to take another 15 minutes to get the rest of this done. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Grilled onions without the oil, without the calories from fat, without the excess calories. And you could actually go a little bit longer if you wanted to. Another thing I guess I can teach you real quick here, because we were talking about how glazing is done with water. Now, deglazing a pan is where you would actually just give it a little shot of water, just enough to get those little pieces that are sticking to the sides of the pan. And a lot of people deglaze with wine. you'd have all these little fragments of meat or whatever it is that you were cooking with. And to deglaze a pan, you just put a little shot of water in there, and it's just enough to get all the little sticky parts off the sides of the pan, because there's a lot of flavor. It's concentrated flavor in that. So that would technically be called deglazing. So, but just like that, look at, you have beautiful grilled, sauteed, water sauteed onions. And you can use this for a lot of different things. I mean, you know, anything you want to use it for, you got it. Of course, coloring, you can always add color to it, paprika, things like that. But that is your perfect water sauteed onion. And even French onion soup, boom, like that. Add your beef-less broths and things like that, and you can create a French onion soup right out of it too. But there's your basics for how to do a water saute.